What is up, guys? Euclid back here with you again, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start off this episode of our playthrough of Metro Exodus as we go towards the spring chapter. With a little bit of a special announcement, we had just received a radio transmission aboard the Aurora that one of the Artyom editions is confirmed to be safe. Coming from the news, and the signal came from a stalker by the name of Lupa87. Lupa87 contacted me to let him know that he had actually won the competition in the UK. That website can be mentioned down below, as well as his Twitter page and YouTube, as he has just started a YouTube page. Lupa87 is a devout Metro fan, and by the luck and the grace of the zone, yes, they are from England. I actually just saw the confirmation for the message from Twitter. I'm not going to try and make this super official like I'm some kind of news anchor, but these guys reached out to me. It was Lupa and his brother. They actually were the ones that put this diorama together. And as I can see in this video right now, they're gonna make fun of me when they see that I'm reading this live. Wow, yeah, so it looks like they already were asked if they were going to sell it on eBay. Don't sell it. Don't ever sell it. Keep it for yourself. To sell something like that is to sully its name. And that's why random draws, I hate them. I personally hate them. But I'm glad it was in the hands of this gentleman who is using the motivation that has been brought up to him from the zone by receiving 4A's coveted Artyom edition of Metro Exodus, and he is actually going to be using that to start his channel. So you can see his links and information in the comment section, below the comment section or whatever, down below. And feel free to check out his channel as well. The video is well made, a lot better than my first video. Oh! Ugh, Jesus. At least the point is genuine, and we've actually exchanged some messages. We've been speaking over the course of a little over a week now, back and forth as we both do work full time. I want to mention that they took time to make this video. Spent around 24 hours making the video, putting things together, making props. It's really excellent. They've got a set of their own equivalent of a Tikar rifle. They have knives wrapped in red duct tape. It looks really cool. A vest, tack set, binoculars, and they've even got like what looks like a little metallic can, one of those like tuna cans or whatever that's been turned into a candle, and they've got that. It's a really cool mock set. Go check out his channel. The link is down below. Let him know what you think. This guy reached out to me, and I wish that I had somebody that I could have reached out to in the beginning. So let's get this Spartan started off right with a fine arsenal of comments. But until that time, guys, let's go ahead and get on with our video. Lupa, thank you for messaging me. And so long as you always take time in your videos like you did for your first video, just consider this a damn good landing on the beach. Carry the rest of your campaign this way, and I think you're going to do just fine with your channel. Let's go ahead and get on with our Let's Play of the spring chapter of Metro Exodus. What is up, guys? Euclid back here with you again, and welcome back to Metro Exodus. When last we left off, we had successfully completed the moral ending to the Volga chapter. I've been getting a lot of comments lately about, and some compliments actually, not really many insults or anything, about taking my time to complete the level. I've also been told that this next segment is way better and things are about to ramp up, as a few of you have already commented in the video that I just finally uploaded this morning. So I'm anxious to get started. I'm anxious for this train chapter, for more dialogue and character development. I'm curious to see what life is like aboard the Aurora now that we actually have some passenger areas for the crew to sleep, and for Katya and her daughter Nastya to actually have room to live kind of on the road, as it were. But it's going to be interesting to see how the crew develops, so let's go ahead and jump into it.
We left Volga behind. The endless expanses of Russia stretch before us now. The bridge dwellers had finally decided to believe that we were not demons.
That music!
And let us pass. Anna was right. We invaded their world, and it's not up to us to destroy it. No matter how stupid it may seem. Electricity is a sin. Is that really worse than the lies we were told in the metro? About how the whole world was dead and there was nowhere to go? Everybody in the tunnels bought that convenient lie. Once we reach Yamantau, we will at least know if that lie was justified. Since so far, we haven't met any signs of enemy occupation.
Listen to the music! I just want you guys to know, this has been one of the most enjoyable Let's Plays that I have ever done for this channel. And those of you at 4A Games This game continues to impress me, and I just now completed the first chapter. But keep in mind, guys, that's because of my job. And, you know, I have a lifestyle. I like to spend time with my girlfriend. I like to have time for everything. You need a balanced life. I'm not saying that things would be different if life was different, but, you know, maybe I would be putting episodes out quicker. But this is a project that we should take our time on. This is not something that we should rush through. It's not about numbers. I'm going to enjoy what I put my time into. And I just want you guys to know that I appreciate your support. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it wholesome. Stay together, Spartans, and let's move on towards spring. I really want to say right now, as an ode to the music that they're presenting, it's beautiful. God damn, that's beautiful. I hope there's a separate soundtrack release, because I don't think all the songs have been released. So here we go, spring. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Next chapter, baby.
Artyom. Artyom.
Hello.
Wake up, dear.
Is he up yet?
Alyosha.
Artyom, the colonel wants you on the breach. See you later.
Come on, wake up.
I love it, dude. This is going to be so good. I'm guessing there's more dialogue with her.
You did a great job there. We're not home anymore, so we'd all better act like you did. Smoothly. It's not like there's many of us humans left now. So I hope someday we will be able to trust others just because. Because they are people too. Am I bothering you? Sorry, I'm in a philosophical mood today.
Yeah, you're fine.
Stay here for a bit, Artyom.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Oh, shit, okay.
This is great.
It's adorable.
I wish I could stay like this forever. Artyom, when you climbed those ruins back in Moscow, with your radio, did you imagine our life on the surface at all? A home, for one. A place where we could live. A log cabin on the outskirts of a forest. Or how about a bungalow on an ocean shore?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you know, there's something great in simply going anywhere like this. Together. Through the abandoned stations, the ruins, the wasteland. Especially in our own private compartment. Thinking back, isn't this our honeymoon trip? It certainly feels like one, even though it's a bit late. We've only had some honeymoon sorties at best so far. You know, I had a talk with Katya. I'm sitting here recalling that bridge and those people there, and we've been sitting underground for 20 years. And they haven't. So what? These are not the same people who used to build cities, planes, and space rockets.
Wow.
They're just like us in Metro, only even more dejected. They are essentially slaves. For real. They work all day and pray all night, always watched, always directed. Everything is under control. Everything is decided by the community. Well, I mean, Silantius. They don't even have any property. Even their socks belong to the community.
Yeah.
They're just entranced with him, with these ridiculous lies about electricity. Of course, not everyone got fooled easily, but if they dare ask questions, they get penance. Exorcising an electric demon with prayer and the cross. But that's a death sentence. How is a flashlight dangerous? Or a radio? But no, they shun it all. They hide and keep praying.
Yeah.
How can you even make people believe this ridiculous garbage within just a few years?
Desperation.
People in general start believing lies surprisingly easily, don't they? As long as those lies are convenient or at least familiar. Take us.
She's
in
right.
Metro. All right, we haven't met the occupying forces yet, If we disregard that shirt I found on an antenna,
Yeah, no shit.
Katya and Crest, never met them either. But maybe they are still out there somewhere. And if they are, then they didn't even tell us about them back home. They didn't tell us that the war was still on. They just made us believe that there's no life anywhere outside of Metro. They've been lying to us. Lying non-stop. All this time. Were their intentions good? Perhaps. But the Metro is a castle built on lies.
Yeah.
Damn, am I angry. And so far, no matter how far we get, we haven't met a single enemy. Isn't that strange? But Father won't have a word of it. Stay vigilant, be careful, the enemy never sleeps.
Can't blame him. It's hard to shut off.
You know, I love my father. A whole lot, no matter what. But what if everything he's been told is just another layer of lies? I hope we'll find out how deep this rabbit hole is once we get to Yamantau. Well, what do you know? I do feel better now after telling you. Thanks for hearing me out, Artyom. Let's just sit here a little.
Yeah, I mean, she's right.
All right, run along. Dad wanted something.
That's definitely going to help us out. Yeah, you can't blame her for being upset. We have more journals to sit about. Let us read some journals together. Journal entries. Nice. It's a nice touch. We can look around this desk and all the details. Look at these old schematics that were drawn. What can we make of them? I see a star and nothing else. It looks like the schematics to the Aurora. That's what it's looking like. Probably blueprints that they've made for the game. And I love that these big, just generic... They just look like these big communist Russian mugs for beer, like for vodka. Like it looks like that. I can't help it. And then the three weapons I predominantly chose, they have been cleaned. Artyom's helmet, the radio. And we could probably look up radio signals. So, what do we do first? I say we go into the journal. I've missed it. So, diary. There we go, Volga. After all those years in the underground, the air of the surface seemed incredibly fresh, intoxicating. But that was not the cause of the crew's euphoria. Our journey finally had a definite purpose provided by the transmission from the government bunker in the Urals. We spent 20 years thinking that neither the government nor military high command had survived. As it turned out, they were still around. Where were they while we were eating each other alive in the metro? We had lots of questions to ask them once we reached the Yamantau, if we ever would. Oh my god. Has this already been read? Let's see some answers. Okay, so these are all the parts that were read for the Volga. Okay. So there's parts that were missed. These are just the entries from your journal, right? You can catch up on them, as it were. Wow. Perhaps the problem was not... Okay, spring. Yeah. Okay, so this stuff's already been read. Crew. Duke. Of course, we already read this part too, as far as Duke is concerned. Igor likes being called. the Duke of Darkness, but you can hardly find a lighter-hearted guy. He is but a brat, taking crazy risk all the time, but Lady Luck smiles to the brave. If not for the trick he played on Salantius, that old obscurant, our whole operation could have failed. Duke, my friend, your star is undoubtedly on the rise, and soon you outshine us all. We be of one blood, ye and I, and I'm proud of it. Yeah. Of course, Yermak. Oh, that's a hint to us. We should probably read that. Might have already read it, but I'm going to read it real quick. The Aurora's permanent helmsman. Yermak knows her every detail down to the smallest bolt and work of her numbers. Okay, we'll start right here with Yermak's. With Yermak's background, it's a small wonder he decided to leave Moscow with us at the time of our meeting. We had only just learned of Hansa executing everyone trying to enter or leave Moscow, but Yermak had been living with this terrible knowledge for months. First, out of fear for his daughter's life, then, after she succumbed to the illness, out of sheer hopelessness. But now he is free, just like the rest of us, and if we ever come back to Moscow, we'll settle our schools with the Hanseatic leadership together. That's a hint to the future, but we might see that, we might not. Yermak says that every man has a destination in his life, a place where the fate leads him to, and whenever life becomes hard, sometimes unbearably so, I always recall his words. This might still be the end of the line, but it is still not your destination. Get up. Walk on. Thank you, Yermak. I love that. Okay. Alyosha. Ooh. Right until meeting Katya, Stefan has never defied the Colonel. But when Miller didn't want to let the woman and her daughter aboard the Aurora, he started a real quarrel. The Colonel was noticeably thrown off, while the rest of us immediately understood what was going on. Still, as any good commander, Miller quickly saw through Stefan and let himself being talked into letting Katya and Nastya aboard. With this addition, Stefan was sure to never leave the crew. Crest. I fucking love Crest. Ooh, Katya and Nastya. Here we go. It's a little bright outside. It's snowing. Kind of matches the leaving of the Aurora, so I decided to open the window and get rid of the blackout curtains, guys. So right here for Katya and Nastya. I can't really imagine what Katya and Nastya had been through and how they managed to keep their sanity. Much less remain as optimistic as they are. A little girl and a tender woman proved to be tougher than fate, taking all the blows it could throw at them squarely. And those blows were many and mighty. They had arrived at Volga with a group of migrants who were out on a quest for a better... life. That quest ended with them finding a new faith, and their death along with it. Of course, Salantius didn't kill anyone himself. He didn't even order anyone killed. Still, his holy ritual, where an initiate must dispose of an electric anomaly to be accepted into the fold, how is it different from a murder in cold blood? It's no wonder that the Colonel let Stefan and Anna coax him into letting Katya and Nastya aboard the Aurora, even though there must be numerous dangers waiting for us. Still, I would argue that these ladies are tougher than some battle-hardened troopers. Besides, Katya is a trained nurse, and we will most probably need all the medical expertise we can get. Yeah, they're excellent kids. But I really like Crest. And the voice actor's got to be the same one that played Pavel. In fact, someone, a good acquaintance I just met on Twitter in conversation with a Twitch streamer that I've actually been in some small conversation with, informed us that the Pavel was originally in the game files for Exodus. So he was probably going to be a crew member. Could you imagine Pavel being a part of the train? Like, maybe it's based on the fact that Artyom would have spared him in Last Light. Maybe he came around, he was broken, he was done with the Red Line, but maybe he survived. But still, the voice actor is fantastic. He speaks just like him, and here we have Crest. Be cool if he was like his older brother. We even talked about that too. It's just, you know, we know it's not real, but it was fun. So for Crest, an avid storyteller, a talented mechanic, and a natural-born adventurer who traveled all across the vast expanses of this threatening world of the surface, so alien to us, who'd been through hundreds of scuffles and struck thousands of deals, quite a few of which could well be of the less scrupulous sort. I don't know if Crest will be journeying with us for long, but I am not surprised he had such an easy time fitting in. Right from the start, he gave us the hand with fixing the Aurora, gave us the railcar he'd be using in his adventures, and then went with us on a mission to capture the tugboat, giving Duke and me the cover we needed to infiltrate the bridge. It's no wonder that even our usually cautious colonel had no second thoughts about welcoming Crest into the crew. I like him. You can tell he's been through some shit. He's got scars all over his face, and he just looks rugged. But he's funny. He's really funny. He's really likable. He's a really enjoyable addition to the crew, and he gives that personality that I kind of liked about Pavel up until him being a prick. He was still a good character. I think Pavel was one of the best characters from Last Light because he had a personality. He was so outspoken. But yeah, I really, that's another thing we need to mention too, is back to Last Light, and I hate to drag away from this game, we can't forget that, like the Baby Dark One told us, that in Pavel he didn't see red or hate, he only saw sadness. And I want to learn more about Pavel. So, hopefully we do in the future. Maybe if we go back to the Metro to free the people under the tunnels. So, that covers the crew and additions. Okay. Wow. While we were waiting for the Aurora's repairs to be completed, thinking on how to cross the river, Sam, in light of our constant mentions of occupying forces, hypnotized himself into believing that the Colonel didn't trust him. He's American. It'd be hard to let go of that. It must be heartbreaking to have served a commander for 20 years with unquestioning loyalty, only be considered a traitor, but it must be equally heartbreaking to have become so close to your old enemy, only to learn that your country might still be there after all. And if the war is still going on, whose side are you on, Sam? Who are you? I doubt Sam would turn his back on us. I don't think he would. I think he would get between the two, because he's an American at heart, like me, but at the same time, look at that. I love that they still have the American flag. I love that addition. That was cool that they have so many different backgrounds. It's not just copy pasta Russians and Ukrainians. It is, you know, you have a mix of everything. It's not about being a Russian. It's about being a Spartan. So, Alyosha, let's make sure we didn't miss any little journal entries. I love Duke. Duke's one of my favorite characters, honestly. He's like Artyom's little brother, in a way. And Demir, I really want to learn more about Demir. So, New World. Bandits. With no state and its laws, with no pockets of civilization which the new civic society could crystallize around, with no hope of ever going back to normal life, should one be surprised with the rise of anarchy and its consequences. Bandits, constructing their rudimentary societies around the basest aspects of the human nature. Even in the tunnels of the Moscow Metro, where every meter has been divided between the quasi-states, attempting to uphold some semblance of order on their turf, the gangs flourish. What could one expect from the world of surface, where there is simply nobody and nothing to stand up to them? On the banks of Volga, there seem to be a great many of bandit gangs. They have somehow agreed on the division or spheres of influence and are more or less happily coexisting, robbing the few remaining or newly founded in the less polluted regions, peaceful survivor settlements, and settling their denizens as slaves on the markets of the south. Fanatics. The worship of a giant mutant catfish, intense hatred toward the technology and outsiders, coupled with intense suppression and of all individuality. And independent thought within the community. What else could one reasonably expect from a mix of primitive mysticism with classic religion, steeped with good old founders' cult of personality? I must give the fanatics their dues, though. By banding together, they managed to survive in this wild world, settling a bridge and turning it into a veritable fortress, which we had no choice but to take seriously. Their best fighters, the lightning fighters, can fight back against the electric anomalies, and even gangs of bandits compensating for their lack in training by strong motivation rooted in their fanaticism. Yeah, that's what I like about them. I hope that people do survive, but like I said, I hope they break the cultish religion of the Czarfish and free themselves. Exhibition Hansa. Okay, so that marks that. Creatures. Humanimals. Like the other mutants created by radioactive fallout, these nightmarish creatures feel right at home in the inhospitable post-war, despite clearly being descended from humans. These creatures are not really that smart, resembling apes in their behavior. They live in packs, don't use any tools, and defend themselves mostly by throwing stones from a distance. One such mutant is not much of a threat, but a fight against a pack of these is hard to survive. Our first encounter with these creatures happened on the banks of the Volga. In the open, they seemed harmless, and even pathetic, their ugly appearances accentuated by the sluggishness of their movements. Yet inside the abandoned loading terminal building, they proved to be more than just troublesome to me. It became apparent that besides throwing stones, they were also capable of ambushing their prey by hiding in shallow water. That's fucking nuts. They're not really that dumb. They're just devolved, and I mean, it's hard to describe. I like the humanimals. You can call them, their name's silly, but it's whatever. The czarfish. Generally, a giant mutant catfish terrorizing the fishermen would seem to be a dubious object of worship at best, but Salantius still managed to indoctrinate the locals and he brainwashed into believing the monster was sent to the earth with a divine mission. Just a big, nasty fish is all it is. Shrimp female. There we go. The ones that are annoying as hell. A mysterious aquatic life form, seemingly crustacean. Of course, you can't be sure these days. As far as I know, nobody ever thought of properly researching them and finding their proper place in classification. What we know is that they have strong carapaces, are aggressive predators, and as such inherently dangerous. The females of the species tend to attack in packs, spitting corrosive mucus from the distance, or when they think they can easily finish their prey, going in for a kill with their disgusting leech-like mouths. Shrimp male. A mysterious aquatic life form. Seemingly a crustacean, of course, you can't be sure these days. It's about the same as a female description. What we know is they have extremely strong carapaces, are aggressive predators, and as such, inherently dangerous. The males of the species tend to live solitary lives and are extremely territorial. Once they see anything they deem a threat, they immediately attack using their massive forelimbs as clubs and shields at once. And they can take bullet hits. That's the craziest part. Dogs. Lurkers. While lurkers are far from being the strongest or meanest mutants around, either in the metro or on the surface, they are still a danger to be considered, especially for a lonely wanderer. They are a colonial burrowing species. As such, they protect themselves from the larger predators by constructing lots of interconnecting burrows in close proximity to each other and hiding them in sufficiently threatened while keeping the surroundings under constant observation in search for danger or potential prey. When in a lurker-infested area, you can never guess which burrow a bloodthirsty creature might appear from, though you can bet it will most likely be the one you're not looking at. Nice. Good description there. Equipment. Gas mask. I don't think we saw this one yet. Charger. My tried and true manual crank charger made from a scooter alternator, a stabilizer, a transformer, a battery, and metal shears. How often did I have the flash to listen to it whir while waiting for the flash to come back to life? Frankly speaking, I'd love to cut down the times I'd have to keep squeezing it, but 20 years after the Judgment Day, decent rechargeable batteries are kind of hard to come by, so we all have to use the restored and re-restored ones, and these hold charge just a little better than the bottomless bucket holds water. Besides, this little charger can, in times of emergency, power things much larger than a flashlight or a night sight, since it can generate some decent power. It usually takes quite a lot of cranking to do that, though. Notepad. I like that it has its own issue for the notepad, considering we're in the journal and everything. This isn't just an old, I love the art too, this isn't just an old military issue map case that holds maps, pencils, and notes on the mission parameters anymore. The efforts or Tokarov, Sparta's tech guru, have brought it up to the Order standard and turned it into a marvel of technology. While remaining surprisingly light, it now includes a map with an automatic course plotter showing my current location, a radio for communication with HQ, a compass, and a notepad for which I am planning to use to record my profound thoughts, interesting observations, and other things noteworthy. Perhaps one day I might turn it all into a memoir. Backpack. Tokarov has entrusted field testing his newest invention, a combination backpack portable workshop that can not only allow to easily carry a considerable load and clean and service weapons, but also lets its user to make filters, medkits, and other pieces of equipment useful in the field. To me. Surely I am honored with his trust, but something tells me Tokarov has an ulterior motive here. This could be his plot for stocking up on useful materials without even leaving the confines of his workshop. If that wasn't the case, why would he spend time telling me where to find useful metal parts and chemicals? He even proposed I check out the mutant layers, though I must say the idea seems to be quite good. Maybe, but he's thinking about everything. The binoculars Crest gave me turned out to be an invaluable gift. Back in Moscow, even on the surface, there was no real need for a pair, but here they do help me out a lot. Of course, you could take a good look at something from a considerable distance using an optical sight, but a wider field of view, great magnification, and above all, binocular picture, allow to get a good grasp of relative position, of points of interest, and distances between them, making the binoculars a must when marking such a point on a map. Bracer. The bracers all Spartans wear are not important pieces of armor, but still routinely save our lives. They are used to mount such vital pieces of equipment as Geiger counters, warning us of dangerous radiation, hotspots, and watches. Necessary for keeping track of gas mask filter usage, the watch is combined with another gadget that, despite its tiny size, is also vitally important. The light indicator, many a time its blue light hinted to me to find a better shaded hiding spot to remain stealthy. Sukui. It's an old one. Spartan suit. There we go. Suit allows accommodate a modicum of armor and padding, ensuring when combined with an all-armored vest, flexible and reliable protection that can be easily configured for the heaviest of engagements or reconnaissance missions when swiftness of movement becomes the main priority. Night vision goggles, baby. Even before the war, the night vision goggles were a valued commodity in the military forces, even moderately concerned with whether carrying out stealthy operations or effectively fooling those with relative fragility of such devices and perpetual darkness of the tunnels. Their value and importance in the Metro grew exponentially. Obtaining a working specimen is a rare luck, and even the Order could never manage to procure enough to make night vision goggles a piece of standard issue equipment for all of its fighters, providing them only for specific operations. Still, all of the helmets issued by the Order to have the necessary mounting points and our standard power packs, usually reserved to feeding our flashlights, have additional sockets which all the Spartans can use to plug such goggles into should they obtain one. And we're moving on to weapons now. Okay, so the Kalash had an entry on it, so I'm going to start right here at the second definition here. A standard Kalash is simply a solid assault rifle with all its characteristics, pros and cons, but thanks to the talent of Sparta's gunsmiths and Tokarev's personality, the model, our Order fields can accommodate a huge variety of upgrades from extended magazines to various sights. Not only that, with a few simple operations, we've read that, haven't we? Yes. Weapons are something we people are definitely good at making. They will probably be ready to kill years after there remains nobody on the face of the planet capable of pulling the trigger. We have read that. Shambler, we've read. Tikhar. Frankly speaking, I didn't recognize that Tikhar was a weapon when I saw it for the first time, and it took me some time to believe that it really could function. Even so, this remarkably ugly masterpiece of the Armory Station's designers they've been driven into making by the eternal shortage of ammo has proven to be indispensable for the Order's operatives. Not only does Tikhar shoot the ubiquitous bearing balls, it is also practically noiseless, packs a wallop, and is quite accurate over short distances, naturally. All in all, it is an ideal special operations weapon for the conditions of the Metro. Of course, you have to mind not just the ammo in the magazine, but also the air reservoir pressure, though Tokarev has at least improved the valve so that the air does not escape unless you actually shoot the weapon. Because Tokarev is awesome. The revolver, and it's actually here, just talks about modifications. Pretty sure that's already available and presentable, though. Bastard! What if you require something with a better cyclic rate of fire than a revolver, but consider an assault rifle to be an overkill? The submachine guns are there for you. That is, of course, if, besides the requirements and fantasy, you have quality machines and materials. If all you have is fantasy and skillful hands, you end up with the embodiment of the beggars can't be choosers principle. You happen to have a length of thin pipe, a dented bucket, and a rusty anvil and pliers? Perfect. In a couple of days, you may be able spraying the mutants with lead like much water from a garden hose, and about the same range and accuracy, and not for long, as your creation. Spitting unscrewed nuts left and right will overheat from its insane rate of fire and jam within seconds, like the bastard gun ever popular amongst the denizens of the Metro. Despite all the afflictions plaguing this gunsmith's nightmare, Tokarev managed to turn it into a decent weapon with enough power and accuracy to take its rightful place in our arsenal. Its only remaining drawback that even Tokarev's magic was able to fix is its propensity to jam when it overheats. Still, the number of bullets the bastard, as we naturally came to be calling it, manages to spit it out before it stutters, usually ends up being enough for any opponent. Hell yeah. Decoy. We already know that one. Throwing knives, already know that one. Explosive. This makeshift grenade is essentially a length of steel pipe filled with explosives, but it can still be quite deadly if it goes off close enough. Molotov cocktail. This primitive incendiary device, little more than a bottle filled with gasoline, is still a dangerous weapon if employed skillfully. They take a lot of resources to make, though, so I always break them down for shit that I can use. Plus, I don't intend to kill things if I can help it, so I don't really need those weapons, unless I'm fighting a giant army of bandits, which may happen in the future. So I'm guessing... No. I fucking love this music. It's a really good callback to, we should really, I want to make a mention. I love that the Moscow winter, the Volga, all of it has an excellent background to it. And of course, Anna has a little rabbit, has been mentioned to me. Colonel Miller. There has the engravings to the right of him. You have the olive and leaf. We haven't found the occupying forces yet. Demir, symbol of a hawk or a bird. Depends a lot on his background. Duke, it's just him. Yermak, there's a ring behind him, supplementing that he was a Hanseatic train operator. Idiot, he's a philosopher. Aliosa, 95. He's kind of a bad boy of the group. And there's Sam, who's the American. Stefan, who loves music. I love the little drawings. We should always give credit to the drawings that they put in this journal for us to enjoy. Tokarov, gears, to show that he is a good weaponsmith. These two, which symbolize love and healing, I'm guessing. They're excellent. I'm glad that they're part of the crew. Then there's Crest, who's just a shithead. He looks hilarious. I love the art that they've done for it, though. Creatures, equipment. I can't wait until we see a Nosalis again. They're nasty. Alright, so let's see what's on the radio, shall we? Oh shit. I love that sound. There's no music. I absolutely love this game. Music. Man, the guns are looking really good.
Attention! Attention! This is the Special Restoration Committee speaking from the Ark Project base.
The fuck?
Everyone who can hear me, everyone still loyal to the cause. Proceed to the rally point.
Okay.
Rally point location is code 18.
This is the code we heard from the last train episode.
9. Area 18-5. I repeat.
Okay.
Proceed to the rally point. Rally point location is code 1811-79. Area 18-5. Only by standing together shall we overcome any and all obstacles.
Wow.
So much. How long has it been since he even arrived in your homes? Not even 2 years.
Ooh.
You better reconsider your position on Meshtikov. Did you forget who started trading with the convicts from Zolotoy?
I love this background, the lore for the world.
Zakhar's idea. And Zakhar is the man. He crossed Baikal. Alone.
God.
Anything he proposes at once. Well, Menshikov, I couldn't care less about.
Sounds like fucking
Aren't you getting too
Ullman.
big in your head? You're so cool now that the relay gang is off your case. Don't fall off that high horse.
God.
All right. I can live with listening to Menshikov if you're so fond of him.
Love the dialogue.
Enough of that shit already. The important part is that Euclid is still around.
I want one of those mugs.
You're right. That is the important part. Well, give my regards to Menshikov.
Okay.
Over and out.
You devil. Over and out.
I think we may have heard that part before, but I didn't listen to the full. There's always radio things to hear on the radio. And I think that we're missing out on content if we don't try to find them. Good music. There's so much good music in this game, it's not even funny.
I remember looking back, standing in the rain, seeing you cry.
What the fuck?
We weren't talking much anymore by then. All sounded like goodbye.
Sexy music. We don't have time for this. If you guys know the name of that song, please let me know in the comments. Absolutely. Something for us to talk about.
How long have we been on the road for? I've been listening to the radio too.
I don't know.
And there was not a single transmission about any occupying force. There's so much regular chatter. So many stories.
Huh.
Dad says all those are coded transmissions, that they all have hidden meaning, but why would they be so secretive? Why aren't they using this railroad? Why don't they at least control its key junctions? Why did they not install any roadblocks? If they are even out here. This is the main transport artery, after all.
Yes, it is.
Maybe they are not here at all. Maybe they never came here, or they are already gone. Though, where to? Remember? Neither Katya nor Crest have ever met them.
Yeah.
Though we seem to be doing just fine even without them. It's like Middle Ages. That Silantius is treating people like slaves, getting them killed. I can't believe
Okay, you can
they
interact
had
with her
it
more.
worse without his lies, nonsense, and human sacrifices. And us? We had been living
Does the
down
same
there
thing.
for so many years, fighting each other. And nobody even thought you could live outside.
Well, we've interacted with Anna. That's all we really needed. That's all we can afford.
Leaving already? Well, go get them, Tiger.
She's fucking adorable in this game. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I'm not afraid. They made her gorgeous in this game. She's definitely more likable in this than in the books, but I can't blame her for kind of being a bitch.
Uncle Artyom,
Hey!
Uncle Doctor has already set his shop up. Wanna go look? It's so cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Here, Uncle Artyom.
1 second, dear. Collectibles. We have the diary. Spring. Nastia's letter. Dear Daddy, I write this so you know where to look for Mommy and me when you come back. Because Mommy and I wanted to stay, but Silantius says we must go to the tower and leave his car, and I don't want to. I wanted to wait for you in the car, but Mama said I can't. And Silantius said you won't come back because you failed the test of faith. He is a stupid liar because you never needed any test, as their faith is dumb. I remember you said so. Mommy said nothing, but I know she is waiting for you too. So please come back soon and take us away from these fools. I love you very much, Nastia. Fuck, that's sad. God. She has no idea, but of course, you know, Katya's not going to tell her. She's not going to tell her and let her heart be broken. She can't take that. She needs as much strength as she can get for this journey. There's no way she could take that. And the grammatical errors, I'm guessing, are because it's a little girl writing it. She's still learning. And she's adorable. I love the whole Uncle Artyom, Aunt Anna, because they're a family. This crew's going to be a family. And Crest is in the back smoking. We can go chill with the dudes. All right, let's give it 1 second. I got to get some more coffee. Oh, poor Katya. We missed a diary entry for the Volga, but I'll be sure to go and collect those afterwards. I hate that I missed them, but I did try to complete it without looking up guides, and that's kind of the point of this. Look at them all. Crest is smoking. This is the chill center.
Hi, Artyom. See my new place? Fit for a king, I must say.
That's right.
What do you think of this workbench, eh? Everything is within reach, yet there's so much space left.
He's happy.
Most of the stuff you and the guys found outside and gave to me went into making this workshop happen. So thank you. We'll have to keep pitching in like this too. Looks like we're facing a long journey, and useful things like ammo or equipment don't grow on trees.
Not at all.
Plus, the further from Moscow we get, the harder they'll probably be to get. So don't forget to collect all the materials you find to keep us going. There's so many things to do. I haven't decided where I'm going to work on the suits, but I'll have to, and soon.
Absolutely.
And it's high time we fixed our uniforms. Some of our people are starting to look pretty ragged, you know?
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
The Duke's plate carrier won't hold the back plate anymore, and he jokes that he's lucky it's not the front one, or else his toes would be in danger. Regardless, I am turning this little gang back into a real army.
I love Tokarov. He's awesome.
Well, that's it. I bragged enough and won't waste any more of your time. The Colonel summoned you.
Indeed.
Well, I have stuff to do too. You guys are fast to break gear, but none too expedient to fix it.
Uncle Tokarev! Uncle Tokarev!
Oh, yeah.
What would you like to ask, Nastya?
Uncle Tokarev, do you have a sewing machine?
Oh.
No, I don't.
But how are you going to fix the suits then?
No.
Like everyone else, I take a thread and a needle, and I use a sail stitch.
Whoa, cool! Can you teach me?
I sure can, but later. I've got work to do.
Oh.
Will you let me fix Sam's rifle strap?
Well, sure thing. But under supervision. Sam is so strict, you know.
Hurrah! And Uncle Sam isn't strict at all. He's kind.
Look at the character interaction.
All right, look here. I'll show you once. Now we do this.
Ah!
Got that.
Don't rush it here.
It's so awesome.
I see.
Of course, I'm looking like a creeper, but it's worth it. I love that Crest is just back here chilling.
Now,
He don't give a
this
fuck.
way.
Yes.
Don't rush it here.
I love the direction.
I see.
Crest!
A smoke break. That's good.
Hopefully I don't get in trouble for this.
Oh, this is one mean smoke. Damn, this is rough. Well, nothing we couldn't take.
It's hilarious.
Well, you are the right kind of guys. You, the Colonel, Duke, that guy did a swell job on that bridge.
Yes, he did.
And now he's bragging about it like a child. He is a child, really. No, a child. But he's good.
Yep, he's
So,
young.
yeah, what did I want to say? Yes. Thank you. You people accepted me, and I'm a simple guy. I will pay that debt back, okay? So, how do you like it out here after your tunnels? Freedom, huh?
Absolutely.
Sure thing. So much space. It feels too empty to me, though. Just reeds and ruins and those damn mutants.
Absolutely.
Hate them. Phew.
Hate them indeed.
Though you guys are gonna see the government. So, bratucha, don't be mad, but just tell me, what the hell do you even need them for?
Can't blame him for thinking or wondering.
Of course, it might be interesting to take a look.
Going
but
nighttime?
Throughout all of my rambling, I only met two kinds of ex-government people. Dead ones and gang leaders. And let me tell you, the latter are much worse than your typical bandit. They just have to make a speech before doing something awful. So what I mean, I didn't really care about the government even before the war, much less now, when everything's long since gone to shit. So what for, really? I'm a simple man, Artyomich. I told I'm with you, that means I'm with you for the long haul. But I'd much rather find a nice place to live at than go see the government. Of course, they could give us luxury bunkers or something. Well, Artyom, you seem cold. Go get warmed up a bit. I'll smoke some more. Have stuff to think about.
He might be parting
Or
ways with
just
us.
stay. We have enough space now.
It's awesome. And there's Crest rail car. Of course we're going to take it with us. It's its own train, in a way. Crest is awesome. 86. If you guys know who this is, tell me, because I have no fucking clue who this... What looks like an 80s metal hairband from Ukraine or Russia. I don't know. She's probably American. I don't realize that. Not much of an 80s hairband guy myself, but they have TP and they turned this thing into something respectable. Honestly. Honestly, they did. The workbench. Little Nastya. She really likes Tokarov. She's interested in what he does. And he's writing down some kind of notes as he works on this. Just, the interactivity is already insane. And I think there's got to be a postcard. There is no postcard in this level, so we've already gotten all the collectibles. There's our room. Does she have any...
So you're back. What other plans does our leader have in store?
Haven't even been there yet.
Don't tell me.
All right. I love this music. I love it, love it, love it. What is this? Red Army cap? This has got to be Miller's office. Look how neat it is. Tucked in as much as can be. What is that a painting of? Probably like some artwork from Stalker. That would be so cool to have that kind of inclusion. But the Red Army cap, that's what really clues it in for me. We can't go in there, but we're allowed to peek in here. Of course, there's Metro books, and you have all these similar titles. Looks like those shelves mirror each other. Oh, such a good game. Crew quarters, generally. Some Spartan helmets and gear. Hey!
Artyom, come on in and have a seat. Stepan's putting on a live performance here.
I'd fucking love to.
So, Artyom, are you up for a jam?
Yes! Are you serious? Let's do it. This is so fucking cool! I fucking love it. This is a guitar duo. It's so fun. Oh, this is so fucking cool. Guitars have always been almost as much symbolized. There's almost been as much symbolism with the guitars as there have been with a gas mask with these games. Since GSC, Game World, since everything in the beginning. Oh my god. Stefan is slowly becoming one of my favorite characters, but I'm having a hard time choosing. And they're obviously sweet on each other. Which he's gentle. You know, he's a gentle giant. He's perfect for her. He's the perfect person to help her heal. I'm not canceling. I want to hear this entire goddamn thing. This is awesome. I enjoyed that.
Thank you, Stepan.
Is there more dialogue?
I'm sorry to ask, Katya, but Nastya's father, he's dead, isn't he? Does Nastya know?
No.
He is. I tried keeping it a secret. Told her he left for the market. Around 3 days passed,
man.
and I still kept it in. I just sat there with a needle in my hand and didn't see anything. It was all black before my eyes. And then she snuggles up to me and says, "You should cry, Ma. You will feel better."
Senya.
Senya used to say it. So I cried and cried. She knows. She knows it all.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Katya. I'm so sorry.
He's
Let me
respectful,
tell you how
though.
we ended up at the bridge.
Yes, here's story.
We used to live northeast from here. Quite close if you go in a straight line. But it took us a month. Everything's bombed to rubble out there. Yermak asked me and I told him. Sini used to say there were lots of military factories out there. Not just military, of course. General industry.
Yeah.
And now you can't pass through there even with filters. The radiation is so high. No railway either, just crater upon crater. We were quite far, but our counter still went crazy. One route appeared intact. There was nothing to bomb. So we used that one, thinking we'd get further to the west, but of course they did not let us cross the bridge with the diesel. They said it was satanic. They were ready to let us stay if we gave them the diesel to cleanse it. So we stayed. And then we couldn't leave, even if we wanted. That old goat, Father Silentius, brainwashed everyone, so they would just pray and bow non-stop. They broke our diesel down with their bare hands and threw it into the river.
This is fucking rough, dude.
Purification. And on top of it, they gave us trouble for not helping them. Senya went to check what was going on, and there were only locals there. Because Silentius at the Skatina had sent our people away to test them.
Skina. I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry.
He said that if they wanted to be truly accepted, they had to defeat a demon. Senya went to stop them. But it was too late. He only found burnt rags. And then they sent him to do the same. He never came back.
Katya, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, you really didn't. What's done is done. It kind of got so glum in here. Perhaps you, Stepan, could play us something.
Yes.
Sure thing.
She's smiling at him. And he's obviously sweet on her, but and I don't care. I love that there's romance in this game. This is amazing that they're touching on this for the characters. And there's just that signature. It's like hearing the chorus in Halo. That, that very stoic, monk chant in the background. But instead, this guitar, it's almost like the Metro in its series is a living organism, and this is the sound of it breathing. That's what this is. That's what these tunes are. And music is symbolic since the first game. But it's more hopeful. It's more heartwarming. There's love in it. And that's what I love about it. She's a very sweet lady. I mean, and he's just this gentle warrior. He's soft. He's strong. But really, he just wants to take care of his friends. Really, he's such a bro. He's such a good dude.
Thank you.
It's almost like there's pain the way he's sitting. I think we should. I enjoyed that very much. Every bit about that. Got his eyes closed. He's thinking about some stuff. And I really want to learn more about him. Did he lose somebody that he cared about? Stefan's just the person for her. And I love that there's a romance there. For the big guy. For the gentle warrior. The one that wields the heavy machine guns. I like that. Now we can go check on the rest of the crew. We're not quite up to the bridge. Let's go ahead and check out what our dudes are up to. I'm just blown away by how amazing this is.
Stop it already!
All the dudes are drinking, of course.
What did you expect? So, what's up with your plate carrier? Talk to us, man. The colonel's waiting for you on the bridge.
It's a long story.
I'm sitting.
Come on, out with you.
There we go.
Well, there I am, sitting on a beam, looking at Artyom milling about below.
Oh, you are so full of it. Artyom did most of the work.
That he did, yeah, he did. But you don't have to interrupt my lies. You asked me about the Vest yourselves. Alright, go on.
I love it.
So I see Artyom get to the door, and I think it's time I came down. So I do. But something just holds on to me. What does? How should I know? It's dark, nobody around, but I can't move. And those locals kept going on about Tsar something. So I thought I was in a kind of a bind.
Oh my gosh.
So I just unfastened the safety and let down. There was that shed down there, the roof was kind of close.
And what about the Tsar?
Oh, blue, the Tsar was huge, scary as shit. And there was this rusty bolt, and my carrier got snagged on it.
Oh, really? Jesus fucking Christ.
You, Duke, are lucky you already have a nickname.
That's hilarious. And what was next?
Oh, Next we jumped that old preacher of theirs. Well, Artyom did most of it.
Yep, that's right.
He swooped in like a hawk.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's good. While I was clamoring about those beams and fighting that side. Oh, I'm killing myself.
I'm loving this.
Well, he basically solved the whole problem.
True that. Good job, Artyom.
Yeah, you both did well. Crest also.
Sure, he did a swell job distracting those guards. I almost wet my pants with laughter when they started hauling that timber.
He actually had him do that.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You all came out on top of the game.
And
awesome.
that calls for what? A trick. You nailed it. You truly are one of us now, Sam. Will you be joining us?
Nah, not now. I'll have some at dinner. Well, you'll have to catch up then.
Something like a drunk or
Sure
something.
thing. Anyways, we will just have a little as a warm-up now.
This is awesome. Everything about the characters in the
Great!
I think my cup's empty.
That's some good stuff.
Hey guys, there's something I've been thinking about. What does everyone expect of this trip?
Personally, I want to come back and tell Sveta of my adventures, so that she'd look at me with her huge gray eyes without blinking and keep saying, "You're such a hero, darling."
Sveta.
So you're expecting heroics and scars. That works.
And why did you come?
Well, my heart is aching for true romance. In the Metro, all women want a solid relationship, a reliable husband, a real provider. Enough of that smug smile. It's unbearable. Not that I've had much better luck here so far.
Jesus Christ.
Katya came aboard, Stepan started cooing around her like a peacock.
You should be happy. Katya is a tough girl. You'd be under her thumb in no time.
That is unlikely. I'm not the kind of man to upstage his friend in a contest for a lady. Especially when that friend promises to break my arm.
I was just waiting for him to say something from the back car, honestly. Oh my god.
I'll catch my stroke of luck soon enough. There in Yamantau, women from all over the country have already gathered, waiting for yours truly.
Jesus Christ.
How about you, Demir? What made you go?
Well, at first I just went along with you guys, the colonel. But even then I thought, this is my chance to make my dream come true. A chance to see Kazakhstan, my people. But first, we must come back to Moscow, because it isn't fair. People must know that they've put up with enough. They are free. They can live outside now.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
What do you think about that, idiot?
I'm with you, Demir. Yet, freedom is not so simple. There was this freedom fighter, Che Guevara. He died under 40. Comrade Mao, whose book you've been perusing on the other hand, was a strict ruler but lived a long life.
Well, we should have expected that from you. Weird thing, though, is that you are called idiot.
I know. It's by his own choice. Because he's so fond of Chekhov.
Chekhov too, of course. But it's Dostoevsky for the most part, Sam, my friend.
Sure, I read the book too. It's just that I mix them up a lot. Chekhov wrote about that son of Austerlitz, a wounded officer. Powerful imagery.
You are just killing me. How about you, Uncle Sam? Got dreams?
You know, I just want to ride my board again. Spark a joint up on a beach. Catch that wave. Deep inside, under a grizzled metro dweller, there's still a relaxed Californian inside me.
He's got a ponytail. He's a hippie, kind of.
Here.
So you know, before Dad talked me into joining the Corps, I used to wear my hair long. He told me they'd make a decent citizen out of the total disappointment that I was, and sent me to college once I was discharged.
Jesus Christ.
I joined, and they sent me to the Middle East.
Wow, so do you hope your guys would pick you up? I don't see them around.
Yeah, I don't hold my breath for my guys. Once this mission's over, I'll submit my discharge papers. I'll reach the ocean, and there, find a ship maybe?
Oh yeah, just imagine it. You arrive on that ship, and they go like... Ah, the Russians are coming! You are one of us now. You don't really need to go anywhere.
At least don't put your Ushanka on. They will sink you on sight.
I won't. Though I will take my balalaika with me.
There you go.
Balalaika. Well... Who has any expectations for our reception at Yamantau?
Well, your expectations are quite obvious, huh? Scantily clad junior officer ladies unrolling the red carpet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm a simple guy. How about you guys?
Well, I hope they will answer a few questions. For example, if there is not a single American within hundreds of miles from Moscow, save for our friend Samuel here, why stay on the ground?
I'd put it a bit differently. Did you, dearest High Command gentlemen, know that we in Moscow had to spend 20 years on the ground?
Oh, by all means, you can ask those while I'm enjoying my briefing with the junior officer
Jesus
ladies.
Christ. Dude never stops, I swear to
I
God.
don't know. I'm in the mood for a road trip.
Oh, we got ourselves a true traveler here.
Yeah, we will have to live and see.
You are right.
Wow. Duke, my dude. Then we might go talk to Duke. He's walking away. He's going somewhere.
Here's one of my favorites.
He's exhausted probably from the mission. Everything about this mission encompasses why I love the Metro games. It's like I have to switch between right screen and game just to get the good gameplay antics. And he,
Thank you, Stepan. You play so well.
There was another. How did it go? Ah, here goes.
the music is just amazing. Sam, no more dialogue from him right now, it seems. Not yet. Alyosha. What is this? Oh, shower. They got fucking everything on here, man. I'm enjoying every bit of this, you guys. Rabbits. The fuck is that? Meat? In between the rail cars. 'Tis nighttime. But a moment. Wonder if Idiot has anything to say.
Well, hello, my brother in arms. Need a warm up, huh?
Yeah, sure, why not? Talk about this level
By
for a
all
second.
means, be my guest. I've been thinking here. How did Silantius manage to fool his people so quickly and so thoroughly?
Makes you wonder.
Charisma, animal magnetism, something in that faith of his. It is a well-known phenomenon, actually. As soon as hard times hit, people's ability to think rationally shuts down.
Yep.
When there's danger, or lack of food, an animal wakes up inside any Homo sapien. That animal, usually safely dormant, rears its head again. And what does that animal need? Not much. A pack, a leader, some food, and an enemy.
Yep.
The animal does not respect complex categories. It prefers a simple, black and white world with no shades of gray. This fact, by the way, was always appreciated by the powers that be. As soon as democracy seems to be leaning in a way that they don't like, bam, they start a war.
Go witch hunting. He's right, dude. Dude is so fucking accurate.
They immediately go looking for a strong leader. They're even ready to eat less, only to alleviate the threat. Do you think Silantius, had he not introduced that fate of his, would have stayed in power for long?
No.
Of course not. Power means ideology or religion. They are essentially the same thing. And usually, people don't even want to figure things out. They just want to get rid of anxiety, born from the complete and utter purposelessness of their existence.
That's some deep shit,
They
but
also
accurate.
want an easily understandable goal, which they could single-mindedly pursue all their lives to take their minds off thoughts of impending death.
Yep. He's right.
People are simple creatures.
Yes, they are.
Are you familiar with the philosophical
I love that he's still talking, dude.
It's effortless action from Taoism. We do well to adopt it. Of course, it doesn't mean we shouldn't make any effort at all. Giving people a hand, doing a good deed is never bad. But changing the world order in accordance to our subjective morality? Are we gods or what?
Makes you wonder, honestly. I'm enjoying this segment. Everything about this game, everything about this level.
We had this operative hunter. Although a Kantian, even though he probably didn't know it himself, he did put one thing right. The job of macrophage is to fight threats. But that's what we did back home. And when we fight, from the locals' point of view, we strangers are such a threat.
Yep.
And shouldn't be surprised when we catch the attention of their macrophages.
Yes.
I might be overthinking this, of course. Sometimes the simplest solution really is the best.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but not all the time, I
So,
agree.
Anyway, next time, of course, do your thing. But remember that I warned you.
I like the mention of previous characters, too. I think we're done here. It was nice to talk to Idiot about it.
Dyer. All right, let me do it.
Idiot. There's a lot of interesting dialogue. Now to go talk to Colonel Miller. Alright. Everything to talk to these characters. Miller!
Listen. I had a talk with the Ark. All thanks to Tokarev. He got the decoder working.
Oh, shit.
Ark, come in. Come in, Ark. Over. This is Ark. Identify yourself. Over.
That's not cool.
Colonel Sviatoslav Melnikov speaking. I'm in command of a special operations force. We have received your signal and are currently heading your way. Do you copy? Over.
Oh boy.
Yes, yes. Hear you loud and clear. Who am I talking to? How do I address you? The Deputy Chief of Communications Department, Major Ivanov. A moment. Oh, yes, Major. I understand that the checkup is in order.
What the
Great,
fuck?
Colonel. Melnikov? Simply capital. I am sorry for the lack of trust, but as you know, the situation is dire and the
sketchy as fuck.
I do understand, Major, and I hope that you can tell the leadership that my people are true to their duty and will be at their full disposal as soon as we arrive. Over. Thank you for the great news. How large is your force, Colonel?
Oh boy.
I have a squad of the best operatives the Special Forces have to offer. A squad? I see. Well, this is great. Great! Yes, we aren't a large force, but we bring a message of extreme importance. We are heading towards you from Sector K6 Alpha. Do you have any data on enemy forces we might encounter on the way?
What the fuck?
In just a moment, I have to check. K6 Alpha, you say?
Dude, for fucking real?
As far as I can see, there have been no enemy encounters reported in the area.
These guys can't be fucking legit.
I must end our conversation here, but know that we are waiting for your arrival. I am making my report immediately, and I am sure the Minister of Defense will be eager to see you.
That's fucking...
This is a great honor. Thank you. Just a few words more, though. What is the general situation there, Major? Please. Colonel, sir, you do understand this is classified information. But I do understand you. We are doing fine. Do not worry.
He's not collected at all.
See you in the Ark. Over and out. I serve the people. Over and out.
Miller. Poor Miller.
So, do you get this now, you doubting Thomas? I'm so excited my hands are still shaking. The minister himself. This is incredible. By the way,
You hear Mac?
you should take a look at the map.
Not yet. We can do it! Yes! That's fucking hilarious.
As you can see, we're heading almost straight for the Yamantau complex. Katya and Crest tell me that the line there is in decent condition. Surprising, really, taking into account the number of priority targets there.
Yeah.
So we can hope for smooth sailing from here, and right to the very destination. It's not even that far, but our speed depends on the state of the track. So I think it's going to take us quite some time to get there.
Yeah.
So, Yermak, where were we?
You were saying, it's all about results.
Ah, yes. These soft-bellied attitudes must stop. The ends do justify the means.
Well, I don't object. But not all ends can be called just.
Yep.
Exactly. And this is why I have been waiting for a chance like this for ages. And now everything seems to be coming together. It's the government. Don't you understand?
Oh, but of course.
You don't seem to quite grasp the importance, which is unexpected. especially after the news you just heard.
Yermak's not that stupid, though. Miller's excited.
Yes. Well, say there is a government. So what? We spent so many years apart, so why worry now?
He's right. Everybody's doubtful.
But don't you see? They probably knew nothing about us. With the sheer power of enemy strikes directed at Moscow, they never expected so many of us to survive. And now we get to tell them Moscow still lives. And not only that, it also preserved a functioning civilization. Do you get that? All these years we were fighting a losing battle for mere survival. And now we have a new goal.
Poor Miller. I get that he's excited, but
What would that goal be?
You don't get this, do you? The command center should have all of the command and control networks, all the intelligence. They should know where all the nukes hit, have complete fallout maps. They have everything. Information rules the world. And Metro is chock full of people. Put two and two together.
Oh boy.
We could repopulate the country. Yeah, of course, not at once. First, we might have to take the country back. But we'll be doing this under the direction of a real government. People with all the necessary skills. And in the end, we will break out of the underground dead end we are in.
It would be nice, sure. By the way, I meant to ask for some time now. How did you learn about the Yamantau bunker, Colonel?
Oh, the information about the Ark project I have is beyond a doubt. I'm saying this as a GRU officer. I had colleagues working there, preparing evacuation plans. So I've been briefed into it officially.
So, now we just have to get there. And we will. We will. The journey won't be easy, though.
We were never looking for an easy way.
that makes me nervous as hell.
Yes. I've been thinking about that for a long time. The Central Industrial District, a priority target. Katya did confirm my suspicions. The tracks might have survived partially, but the state they're in, though, is most likely terrible. I think we'll have to fix sections of the track.
Oh
I think
boy.
our people can handle it. Besides, I'm sure there will be sidetracks.
What do you think could have happened in the relatively intact territories in the meantime?
That's a good question. Well, we are going to learn it pretty soon.
Oh boy.
Yes, that we will.
His prosthetic legs are crazy. They were well done. Is there anything else he has to say to me?
Well, let us talk business for a change. Huh? Namely, the engine status.
Okay.
All right.
How
Definitely.
much time will it take to refill the water tank from now on?
Around 3 hours if we don't have to clean the filters.
Do we have any spares, just in case?
We do, but not the whole set. Just the rough one.
Oh boy. Of course, that's their state's gonna be. It's gonna be like that.
Is the pump in order now?
Yes, we fixed it.
A shame. Have we got oil at least?
Oh, sure. We have enough to get to Vladivostok if need be.
Well, I doubt we'd have to go that far. But at least something is in abundance. The pipes.
As I have told you already, it's high time for an overhaul. Crest and I did our best removing the line buildup, but...
Well, we just can't afford that. Are you finished with all the checks?
I love this.
Looks like it. But let's have another go, just in case.
Yes, that can't hurt.
I am a child with a train.
Is the pump in order now?
Yes, we have fixed it.
much time will it take to refill the water tank from now on?
Around 3 hours if we don't have to clean the filters.
Do we have any...
Go outside. Is anybody up front here? Not so much. Wow. Is that a train up ahead? It almost looks like one, doesn't it? Looks like some form of train. Look at these vehicles. There's an old bus, an old road, old villages. Very Volga-like, and there's old cityscapes in the background. Wow. It's crazy. Really should have turned my, closed the curtain on this, because this level is kind of, well, dark, as it were.
We do, but not the whole set, just the rough one.
I'm guessing that's how we get on top of the train when we deal with bandits on the train itself.
Have we got oil at least?
Just kind of want to check all these corridors to make sure I'm not missing anything. That looks rough.
Well, I doubt we have to go that far.
Alright, let's go check out the rest of the crew. Alright.
Let's have another go, just in case.
They're checking all parameters. So, we have all the collectibles for spring. There are no postcards for spring. Let's double check with all the characters to see if we didn't miss out on any dialogue.
Is the pump in order now?
We can go talk to Anna. Alyosha Demir. Exploring a world map. Sam. I wish he had more dialogue. He's interesting as fuck. Grizzled old U.S. Marine hippie.
Here's one of my favorites.
It's kind of going over the same one. It looks like a toy gun there. All these postcards to remind them of home and such. Duke. Yeah, he's like our little brother in the game, really. This is definitely got to be Miller's office. It probably looks like his office in the metro.
So, what was it? The Colonel is always right, and we're just filling our heads with dumb ideas.
We shall talk about it, I suppose. Wonder if we can.
Let's stay like this for a bit longer. Thank you.
So I guess one thing we could talk about with the game, because we don't want to...
Do you think that when we come back to Metro, they will believe us? They, who live there, bury their folks there, feed their children with rat meat. I agree with Father when he says it was the only way to preserve civilization.
Yeah, of course.
But what do you think they will find easier to believe? That they'd be able to get out to the surface and live there like they once did? Or that they'd spend 20 years underground for nothing, just because secrecy demanded they stay there?
Wow.
Just because they didn't have the fucking security clearance? I simply don't know, Artyom. I only know that even if we ever go back there, and it's a big if, I'm definitely not staying. My home is here. Somewhere on the surface. I just don't know where yet.
I don't blame her.
And thank you, Artyom. No matter what Dad says, thank you for leading us outside. I'm sorry.
The relationship's really sweet.
Alright, I'll stop going on.
You're fine. I love the music and the wildlife. I honestly want to have just a Steam Live wallpaper of this right here. Just chilling with different songs playing. It's sweet that they touched on the relationship and everything. Well, it's time to go.
Time to go. Okay, let me get up.
Kind of like she's whining a little bit. I don't think there's anything new.
The sky is bleak and white. Our prison train goes traveling swiftly through the night. 40 men in bondage, off to meet their fate.
That's crazy. I'm loving the music though. There's really not much else to talk about, is there?
Oh, Artyomich, another smoke break. Good.
Fuck it, let's talk to Chris one more time. Maybe he has some more dollars.
Life thing. Pretty rough, huh? Well, you can't do anything.
Look at all the words on the cigarette.
Now, you people in Moscow, you used to live underground. I guess that's why you all look kind of pale.
Bunch of pasty vampires.
Quite different from my place.
Wow.
I hail from Kadui village. It's near Cherepovets. You heard of it? Yeah, well, no wonder.
Yeah.
Our place was the middle of nowhere before the war. There was no point spitting at us, much less wasting bombs. So, it wasn't all that bad at the start. The townsfolk were joking that it was a good thing since their credit slates were all wiped clean.
Yeah.
But when the nuclear winter came, they weren't as merry anymore. Didn't used to be that hot even before that, but now, even the fucking thermometers froze. Though I wasn't really educated or anything, I'd always liked science, so I knew the winter would come. The moment the bombs started falling, I knew I had to move south before the snow got too thick. Fixed an old truck, hopped on, never looked back.
I was wanting to learn more about him anyways. This is obviously very interesting.
Didn't even come close to the large cities. Moscow and such, they were the main targets, of course. The villages weren't much better off, though. There was awful shit going on. Atrocities of the kind you don't even want to recall. Yeah, at the time I was getting kinda unhinged myself.
Wow. Wasn't the best guy, huh?
The first winter I spent alone in a lair like a bear. Took over a grocery shop's underground storage. Food kept well in that cold. And that cold lasted a few years, with frost bouts happening even in the summer.
Wow.
Became impossible to survive alone, so later on I would try to find company for the winters. Some were good people, others were real assholes. As the years went by, the good people became more of a rarity, you know.
Huh. Yeah.
And some really nasty animals started appearing too. Near the areas bombed to rubble, the forest turned red. Always red. And there
Right.
was those two
I love that draw.
real lookers.
The conversation with Chris is awesome.
Even worse than they look. There's this mutant nettle that grows on dead bodies and always moves like it's alive. Well, you will know it when you see it.
Gross.
So, that nettle is what they eat. That's how the locals find it. When you see a deer, that means there's a body nearby. The deer just wait for the nettle to grow. Boy, does it grow fast. The locals dry it and smoke it.
Really? That sounds like a really bad fucking idea.
Oh, those smokes were the roughest I've ever had. No wonder, really.
Wow.
So, I basically ended up going all over the place, almost reached Astrakhan. The winters there were a bit better, but that place had problems of its own. I mean, the local bandits have been capturing people running from the cold, selling them further south. I had to run inward there too. Had to present my truck to one asshole there.
Hit him or get rid of it?
No, soon I fixed this rail car and started trading stuff, earning some cash, masquerading as a bandit, not to stand out too much. But let me tell you, watching the things they did was too tough. So, as soon as the sky cleared and winter receded, I decided to move east, since there's a lot of space there, not as many people. And on my way there, I got stopped by Silantius and his cult.
Oh, Christ.
That's how it goes, Bratucha.
Bratucha.
That's my story. Life sure is interesting.
Crest is awesome, though. I do enjoy his character. Yep, I think we're done here. I think we're just about done with this episode. Thanks for the story, Crest. It's always good to get to know you, my dude. Take care, brother. I do like that we took his trolley with him, but why wouldn't we, right? Oh, God. What does this say, guys? This right here, if you can read it for me, I'll get it right here with a good view. And I appreciate you guys from the East translating these parts for me. I could too, but it'd be hard to take a picture and find a way to type it in. I'm not trying to be lazy. I really need to get a class scheduled to learn languages from the East. I really do. That's something that I think I would be happy to invest in. Even if it took a small loan, I would do it. I think we're mostly done talking to Anna. There's no more dialogue left for us. I don't think there's any dialogue left for anybody, really. I just can't get over how neat Miller's desk is, but it makes sense. And the red army cap, I guess he's got that just for when he meets them so he can be in proper attire. Crewman's cots.
There was another.
Stefan.
Here goes.
I think we're pretty much done here. Oh! Does this activate another conversation? I hope we didn't miss it because we didn't see it. Wonder. Taking another drink. It's empty. Everything about this is amazing, you guys. I've enjoyed this level. This is a little shorter, but we took a little extra time. Wanted to talk to Crest. Wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any dialogue. It's important to me. Of course, Sam has nothing to say. He's just cooking for the crew. Bit of a cook, that one. What does this right here say, guys? This poster right here. I hate to ask you that, but as much as you can translate, it'd be appreciated. I just feel like there's so much in front of me that I don't see because I don't know Russian, I don't know Ukrainian, I don't know these languages. And I think the game would become twice as good if I learned it. Pretty much done talking to these characters. Thank God we're in the dark too because we can really enjoy this in-between section of the carts. It's so pretty, this segment where they're just passing random factories of this somewhat, not really randomly generated world that goes beside us, but they probably had a lot scheduled. And eventually it repeats itself.
Shame. Have we got oil at least?
Oh, sure. We will have to get to Vladivostok if need be.
I wonder if Idiot has some more to say.
We'd have to go that far. But at least something is in abundance.
Back for some more intellectual labor.
If he doesn't start speaking, we're done here.
You are a nice guy, Artyom. You know how to listen without interjecting, huh? In contrast, no matter what thoughts I share with Alyosha, he always finds a way to derail the conversation.
It's Alyosha for you. I hope Idiot keeps talking. No talking? Yeah, we'll scoop 3 more times, and if he doesn't say anything, it's 1. We'll just move on. That's 2, and that's 3. There's something really heartwarming.
Warm enough? All right, let me take it from here.
Idiot. Always good to talk to him. I can't decide who my favorite character in the Aurora is.
It's high time for an overhaul. Chris and I did our best removing the line buildup, but
Well, we just can't afford that. Are you finished with all the checks?
Looks like it. But let's have another go, just in case.
We're just about done, guys, and with that, I said I'm going to honk the Aurora's mighty horn and signal to you all. I think the best part about these in-between levels is it's like a reward. You get to learn more about the characters you've been fighting with. I want to learn more about Demir and the others, in all truthfulness. That's what I want to do.
Just the rough one.
Alright, guys. So with that being said, I think we're basically done here. So guys, if you like the video, feel free to hit like and all that goodness. If you did not, leave a dislike with a reason why. And if you want to see more videos like this and others in the future, then feel free to subscribe to my small but growing channel, as well as turn on the notification bell located beside the subscribe button. But until next time, guys, this has been Spring, the train segment in between this level and the next. I hear the next part is pretty fucking cool. I am Euclid, and I will see all of you Spartans, all of you Stalkers, and the rest of you aboard the Aurora with me in the next video.